In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Hello, dear friends. I greet you all, and I'm here with another tutorial on the 3D Vista software. 3D Vista software released some really good updates in 2023, and now that it's 2024, most of the bugs from those updates have been fixed, so we can use it very easily. So I decided to prepare this tutorial for you, dear friends, so you can implement your work with it more easily and quickly, and so you can bring your creativity and ideas to life in it. Well, you may have seen virtual tools that are actually combined with 3D models so that you can simultaneously view the 3D model of the space, just like what you are seeing right now. And at the same time, you can actually enter that space and view all parts of it in 360-degree photos in 3D with very high quality. Of course, 3D models of interior spaces generally don't have high quality, and as you can see, the details are unclear. The 3D model is only used when we want to understand the general layout of the space. A 3D model can show us the overall layout of the space very well. Now, here you can see what the area looks like. You can easily see how many floors this building has and what components it includes. For example, with this model, you can easily tell that the top floor here is a gym or fitness club, and in the same way you can observe the other general features here. You can generally see what spaces and which sections exist here, but when you want to enter the space and learn more details, you need to go into the 360-degree photo and explore the space. So today I want to teach you how we can create a virtual tour like this using the 3D Vista software. Naturally, we first need to create this 3D model. So I will teach you how we can actually create a 3D model of an interior space. As you can see right now, part of this area is the exterior space. Well, for now, I'm not going to deal with the exterior space in this session, and I don't want to. I won't be teaching you how to create a 3D model of the exterior space in this session. In this session, we are only going to talk about creating 3D models of interior spaces, where there are various rooms and details inside a building. How do we create this 3D model? Because creating 3D models of exterior spaces is actually quite easy. With photogrammetry, this has been done for years, and it's not very difficult. But 3D modeling of interior spaces has only seriously been pursued for about a year or two, and it wasn't possible before. There weren't suitable tools for it, and the software didn't have enough power either. The cameras also didn't have the necessary quality. However, in the past year, with the emergence of AI, today I'm going to introduce to you several different AI-based tools that have been developed, which can create 3D models of both exterior and interior spaces very well for us. For 3D modeling of exterior spaces, there were already some AI-based tools available before. There were online services as well. There were photogrammetry software tools that we could easily use to create our 3D models, and they would provide us with very high quality models. But this was not the case for interior spaces. So today my main focus and emphasis is on how we can create 3D models of interior rooms and then connect them together using 360-degree photos. That is, when you click on this 3D model, it will go and enter that 360-degree photo in this way. And then you can navigate inside the 360-degree photo, and I will also teach you how to place hotspots and in fact the information you want to provide to that person, user or viewer inside the 3D model. I will also show you, for example, how many floors this building of mine has. Well, we can separately create a 3D interior model for each floor and display these floors individually. For example, we can show only the top floor, the 7th floor, and have the other floors deactivated. In this way, I will explain all of this to you today, dear viewers, and show you how you can do this. Well, there are various online tools available, which I will introduce to you now, but none of them are free. You have to pay a considerable amount to purchase these plans so that you can upload your photos or videos here. Then the service can create a 3D model for you, embed the photos into that 3D model, and finally provide you with an integrated virtual tour. However, you don't have much control over it, meaning you can't make many changes to it. There are a few changes that you are allowed to make, but still you can't have much control or customization over it. In 3D Esta, you have much more freedom. You can connect different types of content to each other, but that's not the case with these tools. The icons are limited, and in fact, you are restricted in terms of the content you want to include in your virtual tour. You can't do this easily. Our first limitation is high-speed internet, which unfortunately, starting this month, we are deprived of in Iran. Therefore, these online services are not very useful for us. In fact, the main reason I decided to prepare this tutorial for you is so that we can find a way to do this for free, or at least at the lowest possible cost, while maintaining similar quality. Pretty much everything we have here, we should also have the same in 3D Esta. Now, I've done my best to prepare a useful tutorial for you all. So let's move on and proceed step by step together. First, I want you to have some general information about the available tools, and then we'll move on to the free Vista software or Metashape software, which I'll use to create the 3D model, as well as the other auxiliary tools. After all, the videos and photos you take will be processed step by step, stage by stage, with these software tools until you reach the final result. The first tool, which is actually number one or the flagship in this field, is Matterport. If you visit the website matterport.com, you can see it for yourself. They have showcased their sample works and listed the services they offer. Now, I'll introduce some of the menus to you, dear viewers. Let me go into the first menu, which is the plans, so you can know the prices right away. You see it has a free plan. With this plan, you can upload up to about 600 photos for one space. Basically, this software works online for you. It creates a 3D model of the interior space. However, it doesn't offer you many services. Everything it provides can only be viewed in your browser, and you can't share it with others. You can't download your 3D model either. Basically, it's a preview that just shows you the features it has. So it's only useful for evaluation purposes, and you can't really do anything serious with it. And the starter plans begin at $9 per month, but these are actually annual service, meaning if you only want to subscribe for 1 month, the price would definitely be higher than this. On a monthly basis, that same $9 annual service would come out to $9 per month. But if you only want to use it for 1 month, you have to pay $11.9. So basically you need to pay $12. The professional service is the one that's most widely used. It offers greater capabilities and its features are much more general and useful. This service costs $65 per month. If you want to pay annually instead of monthly, it becomes cheaper. It drops to $55. So you save $10. And then there are the next tiers, which are business and enterprise, starting with business. The business plan costs $321 per month. And as for the enterprise plan, if you need certain special services from the company, you contact them, they activate those services for you, and then inform you of the cost. But naturally, none of these options are really useful. Those of you who work in virtual tour creation know that in Iran, none of these are practical. And it's just not possible to spend that much because the income you can expect to earn just isn't enough to justify it. Now, even if you spend that much on a foreign website, and actually, I'm not even sure, but Matterport is actually blocked in Iran, and it's not just filtered, it's completely inaccessible. In fact, inside Iran, it's not even under sanctions, but as far as I know, unless something has changed recently, the company itself has blocked the service in Iran because they didn't have any customers there, so it's closed off. So if you want to use this service visually, you'll have to do it somewhere else. You would need to send your photos, and then from another country, someone would actually upload your photos. They would create your model and give you a link so you can share it or provide it to your clients. As for the link, if there's any trick or workaround that allows it to be used inside Iran, I'm not aware of it. If you know of any, please be sure to leave a comment when I upload this tutorial on my website so that I and others who visit can be informed as well. Maybe there are people who would like to use this service after all. An important point about this service or online software is that recently in 2023, they introduced a feature that previously was only available with their own cameras, like the Pro 2 camera. I've probably seen a picture of it. This is the camera that actually has a laser scanner. Well, actually, it's not a laser. This camera's scanner is actually an infrared scanner. It's infrared, and with this, they would photograph interior spaces and create a 3D model of them. After that, the Pro 3 was introduced, which I'll talk about later. But last year, they also approved a series of 360-degree cameras that could actually be connected to the company's app and used for photography as well. Meaning they just bring in the photos. The person who wants to use it, in fact, can't afford to buy those expensive cameras from this company. So they use these 360-degree cameras to take their photos. What Matterport did was simply make it possible for these cameras to pair with the Matterport app. So when you open the app during a shoot, it can connect to the camera and you can scan the space right there. That is the same thing we do for 360-degree photography. We take pictures of the rooms. We take a specific number of photos in each room. The exact same process happens in Matterport, and what they've done now is that these cameras can also be connected to their app, so we can do the photography with these cameras instead of using Matterport's own expensive cameras. Also, last year, well, not last year, actually just 2 or 3 months ago in this new year, yes, I think it was in December that they released another update. So from now on, you can take your photos with any camera, whether it's a DSLR, a Samsung, or even if you want to create a 360-degree photo with your phone, then you can save those photos on your phone and upload them through the app. Previously, this wasn't possible. You had to connect the camera to the app, and the camera would take the photo and send it directly to the app. The app also had to be online at the location where you were capturing the images. You definitely needed internet access so that the app would send the data online to its server, which would then create the 3D model for you. But now, with the updates they've released, offline capturing has also become possible in Matterport. You can take your photos with any device and then bring them to your office. You can upload those photos through its app. Pay attention to this on their website. You can't upload the photos through your computer's browser. You must use their app, the mobile software that's on your tablet or phone. That means you need to transfer the photos to your tablet or phone first, and then upload them to Matterport through the app so it can create your 3D model and virtual tool. Alright, let's move on to this company's Pro 3 camera. This camera is really interesting. It's a very expensive camera. I want to explain why I don't recommend this service to you at all. Well, the Pro 3 camera is a very high quality camera. The photos it takes can have an output resolution of up to 12K, and it has a laser scanner, unlike the previous Pro 2, which actually measured or scanned the 3D space using an infrared meter. This one has a laser scanner and uses a laser beam to scan the interior space. Therefore, its accuracy is very good, meaning when it scans an interior space, it can measure the exact distance between walls and the area of the space with very high precision. And later you can export the results in the software. But the really interesting point is that you buy the camera. I think it's around $5,000 or $6,000. Yes, the price of this camera is about $6,000. And you buy the camera to take 360-degree photos with it, to create a visual tool. But this camera is just an interface between you and that company. You can't use this camera for anything else. If at some point your subscription ends and you no longer pay the company or use its online services, this camera becomes completely useless to you. That is, you can't take 360-degree photos with this camera or use it. In fact, it doesn't even have any internal storage to save your photos. It's just an interface. That means all these sensors, the camera itself, and its lens are connected to the app installed on your tablet or mobile phone. And the way it works is that you take this camera to the place where you want to take photos, and set up the camera there. You install the app and basically connect it. They connect to the camera and to each other, and you start working. You perform the scan, and at that very moment, the camera is connected to your mobile or tablet via Wi-Fi in real time, and it uploads the photos one by one. The photos it takes are uploaded one by one to your phone, and still you don't have access to those photos. Those photos are stored in the app in an encrypted format. In other words, the camera does not give you the photos. In the end, after you finish uploading, it gives you a package that is encrypted and you have no idea what's inside. You upload that exact same package to the Matterport website, and with the help of their artificial intelligence, they create your 3D model, stage your 360-degree photos, and generate 360-degree panoramic spherical images for you. They then intelligently connect and link these photos to the 3D model themselves. That means you don't have to do any extra work. The only thing you do is the capturing. The rest of the process is handled automatically by the company, and in the end they provide you with the virtual tool. All the photos are connected to each other, so you can click through them one after another. You move on to the next photo. It also has a really nice transition effect that makes you feel like you're actually moving through the space. Inside that environment, you feel like you're moving around, and the 3D model matches your photos exactly. So it knows which part of the 3D model each photo corresponds to. And these are all the advantages that the software actually offers. I'm mentioning these points to you one by one. Its measurement tool is automatic, meaning you just need to click on the measurement option to easily measure the dimensions of the space. And well, these are its advantages, but what are its drawbacks? What I wanted to say is the downside is that you buy this camera, but in practice, you don't actually have the camera, meaning the photo you took of that space while you bought the camera belongs to you. The space you want to photograph, that space is yours. You go and take a photo of it, but the photo isn't yours. This camera doesn't give you the photo, meaning the photo you took with your own camera of your own space, you can't actually have it. So if you want to have that photo as well, you have to pay Matterport again. So they give you the photo. But at a lower quality, I think it's 20 megapixels. You can download that photo from Matterport for free, but if you want the 12K photo, they sell it to you for a fee. And basically, it's like you bought a 12K camera, but you can't have your own original photo from it. But this isn't a positive point, and in my opinion, it's not useful for our work at all. Now, this company is American and definitely has many customers there, so it might be very useful over there. But in my opinion, in Iran, this tool can't be as practical as it should be. If you disagree, please let me know your reasons. Write it in the comments or use the available contact methods. Let me know, so I can see maybe I'm the one who's mistaken. Let me check if there's anything else regarding this topic. Well, no, there's nothing else. I'll move on to another tool that is exactly like Matterport. That one is also an online tool, AI based, and does exactly what Matterport does. The tool is called Realzy. The website is hamrealzy AI. If you visit, you can check it out, its services. Now, this is one of its sample projects that you can see here. This part is its 3D model. You can rotate it, click on any part of the model to land there, and navigate inside the model. You can look around. This also acts as a free plan, and the rest of its plans are paid. Now, you either have to buy these cameras from the company, a camera like the Matterport camera, meaning it actually has both a laser scanner and a camera. You can also scan the space. It can generate a dense point cloud, or you can buy a tool from them and attach your mobile phone to it so it rotates and takes 360-degree photos of the space. You can even mount other 360-degree cameras onto this device, take your photos, and upload them to the website so it creates a 3D model for you or a virtual tour, and you can add these hotspots to it in this way. Well, I won't go into too much detail. If you're interested, you can check it out yourself. The prices on this platform are a bit lower than those on the Matterport platform. The next tool is Skybros. The website address is skybros.com. There's a demo available here. With this tool, you can also create 3D models. Let's take a look at it together. But the good thing about this tool is that it uses a regular camera. That is just your regular mobile phone camera. All you need to do is take a regular video of your interior space, whether with a drone or any other device. Just record a normal video. There's no need to specifically take 360-degree videos or 360-degree photos. You record a regular video, and actually they have tutorials for each part explaining the method. So if you want to, for example, create a 3D model of that space, you can go and watch the tutorial to see what method and what kind of capture pattern you need to use to record that space properly. So you can use this service to create a 3D model of that space. Of course, this service isn't free and is paid if you want to use it. You need to go to the pricing section and make a purchase in order to access its services. It does have a free plan, but it's really just for preview purposes and you can't do much with it. If you want to do any serious work, you definitely have to purchase it, and this service costs about $49 per month. But today I want to tell you, my dears, about a more important service in more detail and how you can use it. It's Copex Vista, copexvista.com. You can log in to the website. Now I'm on the samples page. This page where the sample works are displayed, I'll open one of them. So you can see what it is. With Copex, you can create 3D models of interior spaces. That is, it's a tool, a platform based on AI, based on artificial intelligence. You record with your 360-degree camera or take a time lapse, then upload your video file to their website, and after a few hours, it generates this 3D model for you, which is downloadable. You can go and download your 3D model, and then you can use it elsewhere. You can import that 3D model into software like 3D Vista and then create a virtual tour for yourself. I will also talk about this for you today. Actually, I'm not mentioning this tool so that you necessarily use it as well. Now, this tool isn't that powerful, and as you can see, the 3D model it created doesn't have much quality either. However, it's still at the beginning stages. It's in its beta version, and that's also why it's free. Maybe for projects where the spaces are less cluttered and tidier, this tool might work better and allow you to create a 3D model with it. But after all this, I want to introduce you to a very handy and easier tool that doesn't require the internet, and you can do everything from start to finish on your own computer. Create your 3D model and then your virtual tool. I only introduced this Cupix tool so you'd be aware of what online tools are out there and how quickly these services are advancing, so you can keep yourself updated with these technologies. Alright, after this introduction, I'll go ahead and start my own work. First, I need to take photos or videos of the space, for which I want to create a 3D model. There are also some important points you need to keep in mind when taking these photos or videos. First of all, when I talk about photography and videography today, I mean 360-degree photography or 360-degree videography. And of course, working with 360-degree cameras also has some subtle points. If you pay attention to them, you can successfully create a 3D model of the interior space. Let's go over those points first, and I'll share them with you. I'll explain how you should use your camera to scan the interior of a room, and I'll give you some tips so you can achieve the most optimal results. I've done this many times on various projects. I'll show you the results at the end of this tutorial. A few of the projects I've done recently, and you'll see that The tips I'm about to share with you mostly come from my own experience. So I like to share them with you. So the time and energy I spent finding the optimal way to do this, you won't have to spend anymore. And you can gain this knowledge or information with much less effort and reach your goal much faster. Alright, let's go ahead and start filming. We'll come back to the computer again and I'll continue the work with you.